What's up, Breachers? Unpwned here, and we have got our first patch for early access, and it is going to be implemented tomorrow, well, at least the time of me making this video, January 24th at 8 a.m. Central Time. Approximately will be down for an hour, but don't be surprised if it might take 2 or 3 due to if they run into any issues. So let's go through this and hit on some of the key points. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description below if you want to come read all of the details. There's quite a bit here, but let's go over the important stuff. 1, they have set the hero and Veiled Demon only queues as a top priority feature. So if it's a top priority feature, I expect that to be out next week during the next patch, to be honest. If it's a top priority feature and they're working on it, expect it within a week. That's my hope. Gold rewards in game. So they are increasing gold gains by 50% for co-op versus player, and just the flat bonus from the booster by 50%. And they are also reducing the cost of some of the classes. Great. The gold grind is pretty rough right now. We all know it. This is huge. That'll be wonderful when that gets implemented. General optimization and more options. They are adding more optimization, making it to where you can edit more video options and also include rebinding options. All good quality of life stuff. Can't wait for it to be implemented. Next, so these are going to be the actual fixes that are taking place in the patch tomorrow. They're not huge, but some of them were really needed. They fixed an issue where the match bonus display will now be showing properly for the co-op versus player section after being completed. They fixed an issue where the UI was not being updated for the first one of the day bonus. Fixed an issue with the Engineer's Ultimate where when not enough damage was being dealt inside the kinetic absorption field. So if you don't know, or if you haven't played Engineer, if you popped your ultimate, it puts a circle on the ground and all the damage that happens within that field gets built up into charges, and then you get to shoot those charges as 1000 damage shots against enemies. Well, if you popped your ultimate and no damage happened inside the field, like you messed it up and you didn't get any charges, then your ultimate would switch over to the charge icon, but you would have 0 charges, so you would not be able to use them, which means it wouldn't reset back to your ultimate. Hence, you now have no ultimate for the rest of the game. It was a great bug. They fixed an issue where players would sometimes display double the amount of gold they had. A lot of people were thinking that they were actually losing half their gold, but in reality, they were just accidentally being showed double. Still sad. Players will now be informed that their Steam overlay needs to be enabled when they attempt to buy QC points. Basically, if you tried to buy QC points and Steam overlay wasn't enabled, it did this endless loop of you can't do it, and you didn't know why. Added options in the control settings to adjust your horizontal and vertical sensitivity for mouse and controller. That is big. That is really big because the horizontal and vertical sensitivities were different, so it made it feel really, really weird. So this should be very helpful. And the last fix, additional fixes for players running into the not authorized login state. I know a lot of you are still having issues with that. Hopefully, eventually, this will be completely taken care of. And then there's a lot of known issues down here that they are currently working on and letting us know will be fixed in the near future. I'm not going to go over all those. That's a lot. But like I said, I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to come read these yourself. But now let's go look at the sneak peek of the new Veiled Demon Elite monster coming out. Alright, and now we're in the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at this little sneak peek. Some of you might not have noticed or paid attention in the Discord, but this little bugger right here got slipped in. It's a slightly different picture than the Stone Togor, but we have the Bone Togor coming out, an assassin elite creature. And based on the ability description here, it's going to be a ranged creature, which I'm excited for because currently the only somewhat ranged creatures, elite creatures, are Horus and Anubis, and Horus is more of a healer. So you really only have Anubis, and he doesn't really do burst. This sounds like it's going to be a ranged, bursty damage class. So we have the Scrimshot, fires a bone shard that will deal damage based on the distance from the target. So the further away you are, the more damage it does. That sounds pretty cool. Lambast, deal damage and very high impact to target enemy. So you'll be able to knock them on their ass from far away. That's going to be fun. So that could be clutch for like the beacon objectives where someone's got to turn something in. If you see someone trying to run and turn it in the very last few seconds and you have this, take over, you could take over the elite and just lambast them on their ass and they can't turn it in. That'd be awesome. And then their final ability, it even has the same icon as the Demon Hunter's Binding Trap. Creates a trap at your location. Once triggered, it deals damage and applies root to all enemies until the trap fades. So this elite literally sounds like it's going to be a sniper class that can place a trap to try and keep people from getting to them. I'm excited. This is going to go really well with my bubble build where I set bubbles up in Watchers. I can set a bubble up, Watchers, and then spawn the elite in that bubble and take it over, and it'll be like this little ranged tower fortress. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what kind of builds you can do with this. But that is the current sneak peek of the new elite. We can't click on it or see what it might look like, sadly. But yeah, hopefully this sounds cool to a lot of you. I've seen a lot of people asking for a ranged elite since most of them are all melee based and can't really do anything about gunslingers and stuff like that. So, woohoo! And onto this next little bit is more of a personal thing. So let me switch over to a fun little video. Okay, this announcement is more just for my channel in general. In case any of you are wondering about some of the builds that I'm going to be putting out or have been putting out, I do not plan on making any videos on any of the builds that are currently broken. There are several builds for both Hero and Veil Demon that are so broken it's almost impossible to beat. And I will not be making videos on that. I don't want to fill the queues with a bunch of people running broken builds that have no counter. So just in case you're wondering on that, the only builds I plan on uploading and putting up are the ones I make myself that I think will actually be genuinely good, sustainable builds that shouldn't get completely destroyed by any patches or fixes, hopefully. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because I actually had a couple people reach out to me asking me, hey, are you going to make a video about this build that people have been doing? And I had to tell them, no, I don't plan on doing that. That's completely broken. It makes the matches not really fun whenever it's completely impossible to beat somebody in the game. So just wanted to throw that out there. Have a good one, Breachers.